Hi everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel. I'm Stephanie if you're new here. For today, we are going to go over some stuff that you can put in your prepper pantry. I have been sharing our pantry for the last 2 years, and I'm hoping that when I share what we have in our pantry, that'll help you guys get started with yours. Right, so we started out with just saving cans, like just regular soup cans, vegetables and fruit, and we kind of went off of that. With us living in the garage, we didn't have a lot of storage in the living area, so we started out with getting a shelf out in the garage area and then just storing a lot of the canned goods and stuff on a shelving system. So we started out really slow with just getting canned goods, and that was about it at first. We started doing a little bit of canning, so then we had some stuff on our shelves when it came to that, and then we just started collecting mason jars. So that was our first initial start with getting started with prepping. So another thing that we ended up doing is getting a bunch of sealers. I also promoted a bunch of sealers on a couple other videos, just so that you can start sealing some of your food up. You can do some dry canning. I talk about that a lot in some of my other prepper videos. We store a lot of dry goods, so like pancake mix, seasonings, baking goods like baking soda, baking powder. Also store dried milk, brown sugar, flour. Share with you guys what we did to get started. I like to just say that we would just grab a couple cans of extra food when we went grocery shopping. And the more we got into it, the more we would buy each time that we went grocery shopping. So in some of my other grocery videos, I would grab about 10 to 15 cans of canned goods at the time, and then I would just buy whatever we needed. So in our pantry right here, we are needing more spaghetti sauce. So next time I go shopping, I will grab a bunch of them. We always try to make sure that our prepper pantry is always stocked with what we want in here first. And then I have our can shelf out in the garage, and we also try to make sure that we have all of that. Another thing that I need to get is the canned chicken. So I'm a little low on that. So next time I go shopping, I will make sure that I can kind of fill up this area. We also have milk in our prepper pantry, and then some chicken broth. I have not made my own yet. I haven't had time to do that, but that's another good thing that you can have on hand. But a lot of the first starting stuff that we did was a lot of dry canning items. So you can do rice, beans, like all your flour and all the powdered items. We also ended up doing a lot of spices. I have that in another area out in our garage. So that is another thing to have on hand when it comes to prepping. We also started getting our meal buckets, our 24-hour meal buckets, and then we also have some adventure meals that I have down here in another container. We also store a lot of frozen items in a bunch of our freezers, so we always have meat and stuff on hand. So that's another good thing to have. Another thing that we have in our pantry is first aid stuff. So we have all of our bandages, peroxide, alcohol, witch hazel we have in here, and then our ibuprofen, our Tylenol. When COVID hit is when we noticed that we couldn't get a lot of our kid Tylenol and ibuprofen for when we needed it for that time or the time after. So we ended up getting a couple things of them. So we have some of that on hand right now. I kind of was telling Lauren that we needed to get some more just because it is about that time of year when kids start getting sick, and I want to be able to make sure that we have that on hand in case that goes quick. We don't know what's going to happen in the next couple months with all of the election and all of that. So we don't know what we're all going to be able to get and how that's going to go. So we are hoping that we can get restocked back up quick before that happens. We also have our food grade buckets. So we have big buckets of flour and sugar. We also have, what else do we have in here? So we used to store a lot of ramen noodles and stuff out here, and we don't have a lot of that right now. Another thing that we store out in our prepper pantry is a lot of protein stuff. So we have our tuna, our chicken in a can. We also have our beef in a can. And then I also canned up some stuff too, some ham and stuff from our pigs that we had butchered. So we have that on the shelf. I also started doing was our sauces. So we started putting all of that out here. Lauren mainly wanted this area to just be for prepping. But it just makes more sense for us to be able to store a lot more stuff than to have it in the house. We don't really have an area in the house for us to do that. So this is a small area out in our garage. I do get other people that will comment and ask where they can store some of their stuff. So a lot of people will put stuff in their closets. They'll not use their closet for clothing, and they'll, just use a dresser for that. And then their closet is mainly for food. Or underneath your bed, it can be an area for that. But there are people that come up with very creative ideas on where to store more food items. So if you guys are starting out, let me know in the comments down below what you guys are doing to get started with prepping. I think people have been starting for a long time, but for the last couple years, I think a lot of people have been more aware of storing food. So in our prepper pantry, what we like to store is the kids' SpaghettiOs. We have some random cans of stuff over here just because I don't have an area out in our other canned area for that to go. We have our peanut butter, our jelly. We have our olives and stuff that I like to put up there. We have our pickles. We have our Spam. What else? Tomato soup. Spaghetti sauce. So this can probably come down here. And then we have our Alfredo pizza sauce. So we have our pizza sauce down here. And then our meat, like our canned meat, is up here. I need to get more of that. So move that over. I should get some more of this. And then another good thing to have on hand is honey. So if you can get some honey locally, that would be another good thing. And then I do have eggs down here that we store, and I will leave the recipe on how to do that down below if you guys are interested in storing some of your farm fresh eggs. That's another good way of storing extra eggs if you get them during summertime, springtime, and you have too much and you can't sell them. It's another way to store them. And like I said, we have our milk, our broth, our tuna, and then a lot of the 48-hour emergency packs. Another thing that we store out here is all of our canning lids and our bags. So we have some Mylar bags out here. We have some labels and stuff I keep out here. I try to keep everything in our prepper pantry so that nothing gets lost. We have, Lauren has one bug out bag in here, and I've shared that in another video. I ended up not sharing the other one. I was going to share another one with you guys, and I forgot to do that. But another thing that we store out here is our ear protection, like our ear for shooting and stuff. We have all of that. And then we also have can openers. We noticed a couple years ago too that we didn't have extra ones. One of ours broke in the house and we didn't have extra ones. So I was like, okay, we need to get that. We have a little propane burner in case we lose power. We also have candles, matches. We also have filters for water, to purify your water. So we have a lot of that. If I'm missing anything, leave them in the comments down below on what you guys all have in your prepper pantry. I like when people share all of that. That gives me ideas. It also gives you guys more ideas on what other people are doing. We do have a lot of flashlights, so we always make sure that we have flashlights on hand. And I'm trying to think of everything else that we like to have, but we do have some lanterns. We have them hanging up there. And what else do we have? I'm trying to think. We also have lard up here. We also have lard in our fridge from our pigs. So we store that also, and that can be used for burning if you need to burn stuff, if you don't have anything to use for that. So we like to have a lot of that on hand also. So I think that's pretty much everything that I want to share with you guys on everything that you could put in your prepper pantry, or if you guys want to start out doing a prepper pantry. If you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.